To be the highest me, mommy motivation. Beautiful people, I just want to welcome those of you who have been with me for a minute. Those of you who are new, welcome as well. I'm Z. I share lessons in faith, family, and fulfillment. I hope that by sharing my lessons, it helps you to embrace your own. So this series, we've been talking all about tools and how we use tools to organize our house, meal planning schedules, and today I want to talk about homeschooling tools. You have multiple children, multiple ages, and you're looking for some simplistic tools that you can use to enhance your learning as well as to build discussion or different concepts that you may be working on. I hope this video will be beneficial to you. I'm also going to do another video that focuses on how I actually plan out my homeschool. We're about our 7th week into our homeschool year, and there's some great things that I have picked up along the way this year that I didn't do last year, and I would love to take you guys through that. So look out for that in a future video. If you are here and you gain anything from this, I sure do hope that you'll like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can be updated and notified on all future videos. All right, let's dive in, guys. So one thing I wanted to talk about is the ability to use one tool and be able to cross over to different skill levels. In other words, you can have multiple children use one thing that can bring them all in different ways without you having to feel like you have to tailor learning and lessons to each individual child. And one great way to do that is through books, through short stories, through chapter novels, something that is short enough that it will keep your children's attention, but also will allow all of them to gain something from it. I use Aesop's Fables. I use also these new finds that I got from Karlenejfrolingauthor. I'm gonna link her IG in the description box, but we picked up these books that we can use to bring out different concepts, and these are really good. My children are eating these up. One is really poetry, written like poetry, that really deals with the uniqueness of our children. This one deals with problem solving, but you can check her out. We read short pieces of literature in order to then be able to have discussion. And so what I want you to know is it doesn't matter if your child is really, really small, from a 3-year-old to the middle school age, you can encourage discussion in your family where you can build upon various skills. And so for example, we do fables. They're short enough, like 2 pages long, but then from that, we can build discussion around making predictions, being able to identify characteristics of different characters, and have those rich discussions even with my 3-year-old present and participating. All right, so we've got the rat and the elephant. All right, Miss Shiloh, if you just take a look at these pictures, what do you think the story's going to be about?
So I think the rat is trying to trick the elephant that he's really going to eat him.
He's trying to trick him. You think he's going to try to eat him? Okay, Sage, what's your thoughts?
I think the elephant saves the mouse's life because there's a leopard trying to eat him.
Oh, okay. So you think he's going to save his life, the rat? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think there's like this king driving on an elephant, and like a type of cat comes and tries to eat. The mouse doesn't see the cat trying to eat him.
Okay. Let's find out. The other thing I want to show you guys is how you can use a story sequence chart. And you guys should be able to Google story sequence chart. There are plenty of templates out there that you can replicate. Find one that works best for your family, but I'm going to show you the one that we use. All right, guys, so on another day, you can take a totally new piece of reading, and we were still in Aesop's Fable, and you want to create discussion through having your children use a story sequence chart. And this chart, if your children are older, they can replicate. You can print out the one that you find online, or you can draw one out. It's so simple that you can create your own blocks. But the idea is to build discussion. So if you want your children to do it, you just want to make sure you practice it enough by you doing it instead of just having them do it right away so they can see how it works. But essentially, we read a fable called The Lion and the Mouse. So something as simple as, what was the title of our fable? If you have really small ones, they can be able to tell you the title. Do you remember what that title was or who was in the title, right? And we can build pieces together, right? Your characters, pretty simple. My 3-year-old is usually in this field. She tells me who the characters are in the story. Very simple. Setting, where are you? What time of day is it? Again, they're using clues because the story is so short that they're able to then give you this. What you're building, what skill are you building? You're building basic comprehension skills. You're also building their ability to be able to go back and use clues from a story to find out information, okay? Then we come over here, and you're using the language of what it is that you're wanting even your oldest level children to remember. So I ask them, what is the plot? And then I say, what happened? Why? Because my 3-year-old is going to learn new vocabulary such as what is plot, but she also is going to have a way to define that as what happened. So I want to introduce her to terms because I should be using things that allow her to connect the dots later. So I say what happened, but I'm going to use the word plot. And they're able to tell me a lion woke up hungry, he caught a little mouse. Now, if you have children that like to express themselves like my children do, then you give them the opportunity to act it out. Let them get up into the space. Let them role play what it looked like for the lion to be able to ask to come up to a mouse. How did he sound? Here's where your very little ones can play and use sounds like roaring lion or little bitty cat. Not cat, little bitty mouse. Okay, but you allow them to get involved in the process. What's happening? They're being able to see a story unfold through role play. And this is really great for topics that may be a little bit touchy to talk about, but you want to introduce and have discussions with your children, and you want to give them scenarios that don't feel like they're just about them. And so you can role play things like if they were to see someone that was a stranger or someone unknown, or someone's asking them to do something that's uncomfortable. Role play is a way that I get my children to really have those tough conversations. So again, they are going to put in order what happened in the story. They might start by role playing, but eventually you want to write it out. And then at the end, you can have them write either a problem and the solution to that problem, or a moral being you're never too little to be used. And what does that then do? That extends discussion into why they're not too little to be used. What are the ways that they've been used in the past to do something wonderful for someone, something kind. So one piece of small literature can expand in so many directions and cover so many different skills, right? Because you have some being able to sequentially tell a story. You have the ability to think and make inferences, and to look at morals and conduct and things of that nature. The sky is really the limit in where you can go with this. But I did want to show you guys a simple tool that you can use across all grade levels, and you decide how deep you want to go with it with your children, but all of them can benefit in some way from hearing the same story discussed. So we've got a simple tool of links. And these are just little cubes that can magnetically stick together, but really you don't need them to. So my toddler, she's using these cubes to develop a skill of one-to-one correspondence and sorting. So she's able to put her colors together and then show me she can count them from left to right. While my other two, they are working on number bonds. So they've been determining how do we make different numbers from a particular whole number. So if the number is 6, they come up with all of the ways that you can make 6 using the same cubes. And right now they're working on their independent work where they have to now color things that form a particular number bond. So just wanted to show you guys that with one tool you can develop multiple skills. I could also do the same thing with having them to create number bonds for all different numbers, and have my daughter, as she begins to progress through being able to separate her colors, to be able to give me a certain amount of numbers where she separates her numbers out. So if I said, Shiloh, I want you to hand me 3 purple.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, look in your hand, make sure they're 3. Just hand me 3. Good job. Okay, so there are multiple ways that you can develop a skill using one particular tool. Thank you guys for watching. I look forward to meeting you in the comment section below.